Smashamaniacs.
GeoGearHeads.
Welcome to the 244th episode of the GeoGearHeads. This is one of our favorite types of episodes. This is a randomize. This one happens to be, well, if we pronounce the Roman numerals, it's XLIX. I am Chris of the Northwest with our host, Daryl W4.
Hey, welcome back. And I noticed that you're not the bad cop anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have such a respect for law enforcement. With everything that's going on lately, I thought, you know what? I need to change my name to reflect that.
So your name is now Shiny?
Yes, of course.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
His name is now Shiny Cop?
No, it's reflective, so it's shiny, right?
Oh.
Well, a little bit shiny.
Okay.
Just a little.
No, I am now Chris of the Northwest.
What is it?
Chris of the Northwest. Like George of the Jungle.
So cotton is it? Do you just put cotton in your...
Yeah.
God, still racist there, champ.
And the one making those...
Only you would come up with that.
The one making those accusations, though, is Scott Burks of the What's Up podcast.
Yeah.
What's Up Internet podcast.
Sorry, What's Up Internet, thank you.
And the Geocaching podcast.
No, today we're just going to say What's Up Internet. Because we were supposed to have your co-host on.
Yes, Mark
But he overslept again.
Again. You know, he doesn't overslept for me, but this is, mind you, I want you to know this is the third show in a row that me and him are supposed to be on that he no-showed me 3 times now.
I think he's trying to say something.
You know, I know. So, yeah, we have...
He just doesn't trust being on the GeoGearheads show with you. You're going to show him up.
Yeah, so me and Mark have a podcast out there. What's Up Internet is the name of the podcast. It's whatsupinternetpodcast.com. And we just dropped episode 2 today. Just dropped. We put it out once every 2 weeks, so it's the 15th and the 30th, or 15th to the 31st, whatever or 15th and the 1st, actually, is what it actually is.
Just like when you get your paycheck.
Right, exactly. So whenever you get paid, there's a new episode.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah,
Well, I don't get paid monthly, though.
And it's just me and Mark.
Does that mean I have to skip every other episode if I only get paid monthly?
You get paid monthly?
I do.
Once a month?
Yes.
Really? Well, I guess when you have no kids, you could do stuff like that.
It does take some planning, some serious planning.
Serious planning, yeah. You can't blow that. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, but that's one big paycheck. It makes you feel better, huh? Makes you feel more like a man when you get that big paycheck?
No, because it's almost all gone right away.
So you're working one ahead? Is that what it is? Like I'm paying. This money's already gone.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this goes to the mortgage, and this goes to the
Yep. Oh, I
Pay
know.
all the bill. Yeah. Pay everything that you owe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and Mark did a podcast, just us talking about, nothing, politics and geeky stuff and nerdy stuff and stuff we read, and it's interesting because, just as in the last episode, we talk about school, how different school is for our kids, and it actually is pretty different. It's pretty interesting, because you'd never you don't want when they go to college. Do you know?
No, it's like 18 or it's like 16 or something, isn't it?
16 is when they go to college. Yeah, I didn't know that. I never knew that.
Yeah, well, yeah, the education systems had completely independent evolutions.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's really interesting, even now, going back and listening to what education was 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's all developed. I had one of those architectural walking tours. I think we talked about it on the show a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about a lot of the architecture in the area was influenced by the big, what's now college, but it started off as a public school that was essentially that, community college level.
Mm-hmm.
And how all of that kind of... So it's really fascinating how education has changed. And I downloaded it, I haven't listened to it, and I blame it entirely on work. If I don't have to work, I'd have listened to your podcast.
Did
You don't
listen
have to work. You don't have to cash that paycheck once a month.
I don't have to cash the paycheck anyway.
Did you listen to episode 1?
I did listen to episode 1, and I made fun of you for that.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I don't remember that.
Remember I said it needs more cowbell.
It needs more cowbell. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. So yeah, it's nice because me and Mark, we always enjoy each other's company, and just two different perspectives from two people, 4,000 miles away from each other. So.
But not family friendly.
No. Why would you think anything I'm on would be family friendly? Come on. No.
Climax says in the chat, and we are on the YouTube live Google Hangouts on air. I think that's
the first one.
This is the first show. We did the patron hangout on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first actual show.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I don't support you.
No, you don't. You don't support us at all. No, but the live Q&A is gone, and we now have a chat. So I now have the shiny object over here that tends to distract Amy on that other show.
Right.
It's over here distracting me now.
So this chat right here that I'm looking at right now, and obviously the geocaching podcast can have something along these lines as well, I'm assuming. And
it's an option that you can turn on or off, but Geocaching Podcast had an external.
Oh yeah, we have our own.
That they were
that's
using,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes,
yeah, same one that I'm sure they're using for the Geo Snippets.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually part of YouTube, and I'm curious to see if this actually stays and
will it actually
sync with the video. If so, this is really cool. If not, why not?
You mean like show on the video is what you're talking about?
No, just like I hope they don't show it on the video. No, I'm thinking like over to the side, or even if it shows on the video as like an overlay. That
I was thinking
more
of like a Periscope thing where it comes and then disappears.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I just want the option to turn that off though if it does have that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But yeah, I really really like the idea of having the chat, the live Q&A, that kind of stuff, where it's time synced. And the live Q&A, the cool thing about that was we would pick the question, their topic, whatever that someone had punched in there, and say this is what we're talking about, and it was actually bookmarked in the video. So if you watch the video, but it only worked on Google+, which really stunk.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had it on Google+, you could go and jump to, like chapter marks for those live Q&A points.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I never used it much myself, but did actually go and do the comments and stuff that we'd get ahead of time, put those in so that we could get those bookmarks in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm all for it, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to support it.
So yes, so me and Mark is What's Up Internet Podcast. It's whatsupinternetpodcast.com, or on Apple iTunes Store, on the Google Plus Store, on the Stitcher Store, on all the stores. Wherever you get your favorite podcasts from. Give it a listen.
Let's go to the stores.
We're keeping it only an hour too. Can't be longer than an hour. We cut it at an hour, so it's nice and short. Nice and short for you, Daryl. Nice for you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes. So I did something interesting.
Perfect size for listening to between when my watch tells me I have to stand up and walk.
So I did something interesting today.
What did you do today?
That's geocaching related, somewhat geocaching related. So I just hit my 8-year anniversary geocaching in July.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And so for the past 8 years, I've used the same bag. And Daryl, I think you've seen my bag numerous times, have you not?
I have.
Yes, and so, thank you, Chris. And so, it's time. I had to do it. I feel horrible. I've had the same bag for 8 years. Geocaching bag. It's got geocaching patches all over it. It's my baby, but the thing's just freaking falling apart. It really is.
More patches.
Yeah, and so I had to get a new bag. So I got a North Face Recon bag, and it arrived today. And
nice.
I slowly took things out of my bag and put it in the Recon. Yeah, so I got a new caching bag.
Nice. I've heard good things about those Recon bags. I've never actually gotten my hands on one though.
It's pretty nice. I did this smart thing. I went to REI and I tried a bunch of different bags.
Right.
I didn't buy it there for God's sakes. No, it was like $130 at REI. I paid $89 on on the internet. But but I went and tried bags, and this one really fit nice. It was a really nice bag, and I walked around with it for a while on my back, and it felt good, So I made that. I had to go the dive, and I didn't want to do it, but I had to. I've had that bag for a long, long, long time. It's
Did
seen
you take
many,
all your
many
patches
miles.
over?
I did not. I took my buttons over, like my anything that was a button. I switched to the other bag, but the patches have to stay. I mean,
So
I'm
you
not gonna throw it away.
100th episode patch.
I don't think I have that on my bag. Do I?
Oh, you don't? Oh, I thought I saw it on there.
Wait, do I? It might. I don't know. Well, I'm not throwing it away. I have 100 episode patches in my drawer, but I'm not gonna throw it away.
So you have patches to spare.
Oh, of course, I keep a couple. My kids might want one day. Who knows?
Well, and now you're going to get emails. Can I have one? Can I have
I
one?
know.
Can I have one?
The answer is no. I have a couple for my kids. One day I'll be dead, and they'll be like, "Oh,
the
look,
answer
that's
is
podcast."
if the price is right.
A supper club?
It pays for a semester of college for them.
Oh,
What people don't know is I have coins too. The elusive Chicago Geocacher 100 episode coins.
But are they the defect coins or the corrected coins?
No, is they corrected. I do not have the defects. Did you see my Periscope, Daryl?
I did not actually see a Periscope on that.
Yeah. I got a defects given back to me.
Yeah, well, I heard I think it was in your show that you talked about that.
Did I talk about it on the Geocacher?
It might have been on Geocaching Podcast, but I think it was on the Chicago Geocacher Podcast from West Bend.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you mentioned that.
Yes, you're right. Yes. So yeah, I got it given back to me from a cacher who picked it up in Colorado.
See, so there's your lesson, guys. The defective coins stay moving; they don't disappear.
That's right. But those are the as Joshua said, that's the air coin. It's not. It's worth more.
That's the one that's
It's the
worth
air
more.
coin.
It's like the upside down
Right.
airplane. What's it called?
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Stamp. I don't
stamp.
know.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. That I have a few extras of that stuff. So yeah. I got a new bag today, and I just moved everything to it, and it was a sad day. I mean, I had that bag for 8 years. It's a long time to have one bag.
Well, you still have it.
I still have it. That's just
You
not
can
going
take it out on milestone caches now.
It's just not going on any more adventures with me. Is what it's not doing, unfortunately. But it was a good bag, man. It really was. It was a nice army bag, good bag. Did its job well. Let it retire.
At least it doesn't have to go to the place where bags go to die, which is that hole that you made Jesse climb into.
Right. It'll sit in the garage forever. That's what it's going to do, basically. That's where it's
That's
retiring to the
version
garage. Yes, that's where it's going. And it'll sit there and be like, I can't throw that away. It'll be like that thing. If I ever get a new house with a basement, it'll go into the basement. But until then, it goes in the garage.
Basements are great because you can store all that stuff down there that you don't want to get rid of and never want to see again.
Right. Exactly.
And sometimes do podcasts down there.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Well,
when
isn't
you're
that
Chris
why
and
they
you have
store
to
you
have
down there, Chris?
Yes, exactly.
He has to have a man cave, so that's where his man cave is. In the basement.
Oh, in all its
Chris is the
glory.
man cave.
The question is, Chris, is it like 40 degrees down there? That's the question.
Not right now. No, in the winter it gets a little chilly,
Right.
but just keep your shoes on. You're going to be fine. During the winter I actually podcast with pants on, but most of the year without.
Well, see, that's where you're going wrong there. You're not allowed to podcast in pants. That's one of the. You don't do that. I remember when I had my.
Hey, okay, quick question. Which version of pants? The British or the American version?
Well, British is trousers, is it not? Have memory serves?
Well, pants are, underwear.
Neither.
Are they pants? Is that what pants are?
Right. I thought everyone was supposed to be podcasting in their British style pants.
British style pants.
Right.
No, I podcast commando.
Dude,
Oh,
I work in my
no
pants. I work in my pants. I work from home. I don't get dressed till about 3:00.
You got dressed just for us, Scott?
I did. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel honored.
Right.
Well,
no, I don't.
you know what, guys? We're like a quarter of an hour into the show already, and we've yet to hit anything off of the show notes.
There's show
No, but
notes?
we have
I didn't know
talked
there was show notes.
geocaching topics.
Hey, we've been talking geocaching and podcasting stuff, so it's all legit.
Right. There you go.
But this is a randomized show, so anything can happen.
And
It's
we
random.
were very random.
This is why Daryl only has me on the Randomize shows.
Not only, just usually. But I had to get you on for XLIX.
And I appreciate that. Wait, is that XLIX or what is it?
XLIX.
XLIX, right.
XLIX. XLIX.
XLIX, right. Thank you, Chris.
Well,
I'm trying to keep up with you, Scott. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice.
Out of bell shape? That's all right.
Chris, why don't you hit up the first bit of feedback that we have on the show notes?
I would love to. This comes from Team Mavaju via Google+. It says, Geocaching Australia has organized GeoSports, that's with a Z, 2016. And, of course, we'll put the link in the show notes. It's a set of 43 challenges to earn points and race the ladder. The caches are to be logged. The caches to be logged are related to the games or other characteristics of the Olympics, like find one close to a soccer field, or find one with a bicycle attribute and make a photo of yourself on the bike. Find one with the words hockey, stick, or puck in the name. Find one with two of the numbers 00, 15, 30, 40 in the coordinates. Find one with 4 people together and make a photo. Find one 1,500 meters from the place you parked your car. I like that idea.
Well, you just move your car 1,500 meters away.
Exactly. Now, that's not always an easy thing to do. Now, he says, not all will be doable for each person. Not all will be needed to be done to reach the 1,000 points. Participation is the most fun of it already. It's now halfway through the month of August, and despite having only 371 points, I have my evenings and weekends planned to be able to get to the top. It's the kind of challenge which really makes you want to participate, he says.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw this, I started thinking, this sounds a lot like the reverse caches.
Yeah,
kind of, yeah.
Or the old challenge caches back in the aught 10s.
The geocaching challenges.
Challenges.
Yes.
Challenge?
Back in the day.
Something like that.
All you newbies don't know those.
Yeah, the challenges that geocaching.com wishes we forgot about. But I know that this wouldn't be doable in the U.S. because they measured in meters.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Nobody will figure that one out. I mean, people would get 5 points and that'd be it.
I don't know. I don't even know what a meter is.
It's the thing on the outside that measures your electricity usage.
Oh, yeah, of course. There you go. Thank you.
How many meters do you have in your house? Just one? It's a small house.
How many square meters?
Oh, none.
Mine are all rectangular.
Round. Yeah.
Wait, so I want to quickly. I want to get back to this because Chris
Maybe
scoffed
a cubic
over it.
meter.
Chris, so your name is Chris of the Northwest. That's
Correct.
really the new name you put.
Yes.
So what do you?
I learned from Scott and Daryl.
So what do you put on the log?
CNW.
Cotton.
CNW.
CNW is not your
See,
name.
that's what it is. You're trying to use the same initials as your show.
Ah.
See, I was thinking that's the COTNW that you were going
Here's
for.
the $1 million question. Is there already a cacher out there named CNW when you're logging caches for him?
There is a cacher out there named CNW. CNW was not available.
Really? See?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a crap ton of caches right now.
Or is
I don't
it
cache
that
at all.
the
I podcast about it.
I want you to come out to Chicago just so I can delete your log.
yeah,
Okay.
you did not find our cache. CNW found our cache, not Chris of the Northwest.
If there's room, long caching names.
So
if
you
there's
can
room,
only
I put my
change
whole
your
name.
name once. Only once. And you chose Chris of the Northwest.
I'm sorry, your time is up. No, you can change your name multiple times.
I thought you could only do it once.
No.
Well, I thought it was like once every 6 months now.
Now I have to go look to see if I can go do it again.
It had been once, and then they changed it so it was like once a year, and then they thought they changed it so now it's like once every 6 months or something like that. But there was a time, and I don't know, Chris, do you remember way back when you could actually go in and change it on the website?
Yes. You can still.
No, but before it was like you could change it, like, go change it and then go and change it again, and people were actually going and changing it over and over again, and that's why they actually locked it, because they started having some database issues, as I recall.
It's not currently locked.
So you can go change your name again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
so you can. I wonder if there is a time limit at all then.
I don't know.
Because you remember you could only do it once. Remember back in the day?
Sure. Well, I remember when you weren't allowed
to
to.
change.
2006, they actually locked that down so that you couldn't ever change it. And they said, if you really need to change it, email us and we will consider it.
Yeah, but then they made it where you can do it once.
Right. Yep, they made it a one-time change.
I remember we were going to do a contest on the Chicago Geocacher podcast to get me a caching name. We never got around to. Just because mine literally is Scott Bergs with no spaces. That's terrible.
It's Scott Bergs, not
You
Scott
can't
Bergs.
have spaces now, by the way.
No spaces. No spaces.
Yeah, I don't think they allow you to have emojis.
The bad cop had spaces.
The bad cop?
Yeah,
Like
when I had the
bad cop?
username the space bad space cop. Now
Really?
you can't have that.
And I think ampersands are gone now too, so you can't have the ampersands.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Was it messing with the databases? What was
well, I don't know that it was messing with their data. I'm wondering if it was messing with the API or something too. You know, did the ampersand cause some issues because it's a control character in some code or something?
Mm-hmm. So
But yeah,
Chris,
that's I think what's happening with a lot of this is they tried to simplify the names enough that it is better for like the API.
mm-hmm. So Chris, I'm curious if you were smart enough to create another account under the bad cop.
I did not.
You might want to go do that before somebody thinks of that. Just because you never know.
I wonder if they'll let you do that.
I don't know. No, I just created
Yeah,
a
is
free
there-
account. Create a free account, the bad cop.
No. What I'm thinking is, I wonder if they're actually locking the names for 3 months or something to make sure that there's no
I don't know,
overlap kind of thing.
overlay kind of a thing.
Right, like someone changes their name and then goes and steals it from someone else.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, because if I had a name and I change it, I'd still want some kind of access to that name.
Just go and log all your caches all over again.
Right?
You create a new account and log all your caches.
I bet people do that. I've seen people like,
People
hey,
were doing that.
I found this 5 years ago, but I'm redoing my caches.
I cannot because it contains spaces, which are now invalid characters.
Oh yeah. Well, you could do it without the spaces, or maybe with underscores.
Mm-hmm.
I hate underscores.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the bad cop and I'm just gonna do what Doug says here. I'm just gonna couch log and I'm just gonna have 15,000 fines for the bad cop.
Feel free. Go ahead and try. I dare you.
Then blame Chris. And people are like, oh my god, Chris is totally armchairing caches in Chicago.
How about Chris of the Armchair?
Yes, that's my plan.
Yeah, there's some interesting conversations coming up.
I beat you to it.
You got it back. You see how I made him do that? Look at that.
Wet Coaster
I paranoid him enough to go do it.
Wet Coaster is commenting that his name has the underscore.
Yeah, but he's fine about it. The personal preference.
Wet Coaster has an underscore in his name?
Yes.
What is it? Wet underbar coaster?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why the underscore?
Probably because it doesn't allow spaces.
What about a dash?
No, dashes are evil.
So why not go capital W-E-T, capital C-O-A-S-T-R?
Okay.
You
What?
just do no space, but just capitals for wet and coaster.
Oh, there you go.
Camel case.
Right? There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking, I really want an M dash in my name.
I always hated the M dash. Always hated it.
I do
Hate
too.
it.
And whenever I do the
I
typesetting,
fix it. Whenever I see it, I fix it.
to what, the M dash?
Yep, to the normal freaking dash. I hate that M dash.
No, not yeah. There's like the three different dashes. There's a regular dash, the N dash, and the M dash. So I always use the N dash with the space on either side. The M dash, you're not supposed to have spaces on either side.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I typeset anything, I'd go and replace all of the M dashes with the space N dash space because I just hate the M dash.
Mm.
You hate it that much, huh?
Yes, I was a typesetter,
Yeah.
These kind of things bother me.
But the M dash was created for typesetters.
Right?
Yes, it was. So is the end dash, and the end dash is just so much prettier.
So Daryl, I see behind you. You got a clapper back there.
Yes.
Is that 244? Is that the show number we're on right now?
It is 244.
That is adorable. Look at you.
See, I had that clapper for about 15 years now.
Why?
Because I was actually using it during some of the productions that I was doing, the video stuff, because we were actually syncing multiple cameras.
He had two of them, one to clap on, one to clap off.
There's that dad joke right there, Chris. I was waiting for either a STD joke or a clapper joke. Which one was going to come first?
Go ahead with the STD.
But I actually used it mostly as the slate. When we were doing the talking head stuff, I needed a slate. So, that's a whiteboard slate with the clapper.
Mm-hmm.
It's all one piece.
Look at Daryl. Did you see my Instagram, by the way? We're totally getting off topic now. You see, I finally finished. For anybody who doesn't know, I wanted to do a project for 2016. So literally on January.
That. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so on January 1st, I said that I was going to repurchase the original 21 Star Wars action figures. So as you can see behind me, Daryl, anybody who's on video, right there they are.
Oh yes.
There they are.
I didn't really see them because your head was kind of in the way.
But there they are.
Your enormous head was in the way.
My big melon.
Your gigantic melon.
Yes, and my big pillow.
You posted that, and I saw it, and I was thinking, I think I have those in a box down here in my basement.
So it took me 8 months to purchase them all because I didn't get crappy ones. I got trying to find really really good ones, and obviously loose and all that. And and then I bought the what's in a shadow box, and I did a really cool way of doing it with. I saw it online. How I've got pins going through, and they're all sitting on the pins in their underarms. This is what they're doing right now. It's kind of cool.
Well, I was going to say that's something that you could probably use for mounting geocoins too.
Totally, yeah, you totally could.
Yeah, just put a pin through the geocoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took me 8 months to get to find them all, because you wouldn't believe how still 30 years later these are really hard to get. Like they weren't cheap.
Okay, a couple of questions, Scott.
Yes.
This first one you're going to take completely wrong. The lightsabers, do they have the tips?
They do, of course.
Okay. And does your Boba Fett shoot?
Shoot what? Out of the pack?
The little red thing in his backpack. Does it shoot out?
No, they didn't make those.
They did. They recalled them.
Well, no, they never came out.
Are you sure?
Oh, don't fight me on this, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, if you want to know, I actually have one right up there on my pegboard. I actually have one. I could show you if you want. Okay. Well, what it is they finally came out with them in like 2009. And so here, let's see if I can lift it.
No, that's fine.
Goodness. Oh no.
I don't believe you now.
There you go, right there.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
And
it's like toy porn right there.
And if you see, let's see if I could. It actually comes with. Can you?
Too much reflection there.
I know. Wait, there you go.
There you go. Yep.
There you go.
See. Okay. Did they say that's what the original Boba Fett was mail order only?
The original Boba Fett was mail order only. That's correct. He's considered in the first 21 because he was a mail order during that same time. And that's why for the Empire. Yeah.
I thought the first ones were released with the little shooting rocket, but they recalled it for choking hazard.
No, it never made it out.
It
never made it out. Do you know why it never made it out?
No, do tell.
Does everybody remember a show called Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Does everybody remember the toys from Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
Do you remember the little ships?
Yes.
Little Cylon ship had a little red thing that you could push and shoot, and it shot it out.
And so did the Colonial Vipers.
Nice, good one, good.
Yeah, thanks.
So that some kid died with those. That's why, and so Boba Fett never made it out.
Okay.
Well, there was.
I thought he was released temporarily and then recalled.
No, never. There
were a whole series of those choking deaths around that time. I got when I was during that period, some of the like early Transformer-ish toys that had all those things that shot out of them, and like suddenly one day they all disappeared from the shelves.
Yeah.
Limax wants to know if it's Hasbro or Kenner.
Oh no, those are the Kenners. Those are the 1978s. Yeah, those are the actual 78s. I had them all when I was a kid. I just don't have them anymore, obviously. But so I wanted to rebuy them. So it took me 8 months to buy them all, to find them all, to buy them all. And trust me, I went through many. I lost many in eBay thing trying to get them. Auctions. Yeah, I can't believe how these things people are still buying these.
So is the next show that you're going to do Star Wars Gearheads?
Star Wars Gearheads? No.
No?
Ooh. No. There's too many Star Wars podcasts out there already. Too many.
I haven't actually looked, so I don't know.
And there are actually apps to help you classify your Star Wars figures.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because, why not?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go for the old 1990 Hasbro WWF figures. Remember those? No?
Somewhat. I was too old at that point. My childhood had already escaped me by that time.
He'd hit puberty by then.
Mm-hmm.
It was all over.
Okay. One more side story?
Go ahead.
My parents used to go to the harness races. Do you remember harness racing?
Sure. Yeah.
And they would go, about once a month. And they would end up, winning enough that would pay for their evening. Yeah, that was fine. Well, my mom hit it big one night. And she came home and she says, okay, I've won a good amount of money. We'll go to the toy store. You get to pick out a toy. Ooh. So I picked out the Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Oh, yeah.
You went for the big boy.
I went for the big one because you can get any one you want. It's like, really?
Wow.
So, that was a lot of fun.
I want the Lego Death Star.
It's funny when we used to go to the doctor when I was a kid. My doctor was in Chicago, and we lived, probably 20 miles away. And right next to my doctor was a toy store. How awesome is that? And so after the doctor, my mom would let us go into the toy store and pick something out. So that's where I used to get my Star Wars figures.
I'm just amazed that you actually went to the doctor.
Well, I didn't want to. My mom made me as a kid.
And bribed him, actually.
Yeah, bribed me with figures and toys.
I remember getting mine at the TG&Y.
A funny postscript to that story is that my doctor turned out to be right by Loyola University, Chicago, where I went to college. And I was driving down Devon Avenue one day, and lo and behold, there was the freaking toy store. Still there.
Wow.
As you can imagine, I slammed on my brakes, pulled over, and actually, like, boom, went in there, and it was like going back. I mean, it was like a time warp walking into that toy store.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many of those toy stores that have vanished. Like KB toy stores were the ones in all the malls around.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course. Yeah, but KB was always overpriced. It's not shocking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it was a mall store. What do you expect? But yeah, it's like all that stuff is gone.
Oh yeah, remember what was
Limax says that he had the TG and Y.
TG and Y, yeah. We called it Toys, Games, and Yo-Yos.
It's now a Fitness 19. 24 Fitness moved out, so they just close it for 5 hours, and now.
I was going to say they couldn't afford all 5 hours there.
Well, yeah, they couldn't afford all 25 or 24 hours.
24.
They had to return the last 5.
Yeah.
All right,
did they used to have Circus World? Do you remember that?
It was. I don't think it was Circus World, but it was something like that.
It was a Circus something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Toy Circus. No, that doesn't sound right.
I just remember Circus as a kid.
Circus Kids?
No, I just remember that as a kid, something Circus or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what it was. Hopefully, someone over here in the.
Well, it seems like a Midwestern because both of you and me have heard of it, so it might be a Midwestern thing.
Well, Chris is from Toledo.
Yeah, from Toledo.
Chris, anything?
No.
Nothing.
And we're talking back 70s, 80s?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this would have been probably late 70s, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not early 80s. Because I remember going there and looking at Raiders of the Lost Ark figures, and that came out in 80. So, it was still around in the 80s. Early 80s, at least.
At least by you. It might have closed up over here, too. I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Well, and a lot of those consolidated into other toy stores, too. All right, let's get back to some geocaching stuff, though.
Circus World.
For that. Wow,
I'm going to have to apologize to Jersey Eric because I haven't done the research that I wanted to on this. He wrote in, I have a Garmin eTrex 30 GPSR, and yes, I occasionally use it. Am I the only geocacher who has issues on a Windows 10 computer sending the specific geocache to his or her GPSR directly from the geocaching.com website, either from a specific cache's webpage or from the geocaching.com app? I'm referring to the Send to My GPS button on geocaching.com webpages. Ever since I got a new Windows 10 computer with the Edge browser, I'm unable to use the Send to My GPS functionality whether I'm in the Edge browser or, more often, the latest Firefox browser. I get warnings that the drivers, or possibly add-ons, are no longer supported in my browser, and I've tried to manually download and install the Garmin drivers without success.
Yikes.
I think Jesse's had that problem.
I'm sure, because it's not... Yeah, the plugins have been deprecated and are no longer supported, and that's what I was trying to go and find out. Basically, the browser developers are trying to eliminate the plugins entirely, and that's essentially what's happening. The Garmin communicator plugin, which is what powers that, is currently in version 4.2.0, which hasn't been updated since April of 2014. It's very, very old, and at that point, the specs on it were Safari 5 or higher, Firefox 3.6 or higher, IE 7, Windows XP or later, and macOS 10.6 or later. So, Scott, you're going to appreciate just how old that is with those kind of specs.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I know Jessie always bitches whenever she tries to drop a PQ. She's always screaming because she has to keep. I think she has to bring it back to factory settings to get it to work, to even attempt to get it to work. And that frustrates her. So I don't. She screams and I kind of listen.
Well,
and I just scream back, "Wow, that sucks!" Yeah.
The Edge browser is not all that good.
But IE was? What are you trying to say?
No. There's a lot of incompatibilities I found. I'm very happy with the latest version of Firefox. I've been very disappointed with Chrome lately, and I've moved almost entirely to Firefox, and things seem to work much smoother there for me.
Yeah,
Chrome has been really flaky as of late for us.
Well, I think Jesse was saying that too, because Jesse's a Chrome user. I've been a Firefox user since, for 10 years? Since it first came out, pretty much.
I was Firefox until about version 14, I think, when I started having nothing but troubles, so I switched to Chrome and never looked back.
I tried Chrome. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I couldn't get into it.
The thing that really sold me on Chrome was the syncing of histories and everything else between devices. So it's really nice when I'm on my laptops, going to the desktops and now the phones and everything else, being able to pull that stuff up, and I could actually, from Chrome, send, and I don't know if it's actually still supported, but I could send a web page to my phone, and it would be there, preloaded in the browser on the phone, so I could do that on like Wi-Fi and then run out onto the basement or whatever where I don't get a good signal and still have that web page in an offline mode, essentially.
Yeah. What are you doing down in the basement, Daryl?
Well, this was back at the apartment, so laundry. Okay. I didn't figure that people would like it very much if I just didn't bother doing the laundry. So
just keep buying new shirts. You're fine.
Oh, I could have done that.
He doesn't have children. He can afford it.
I spent it on GPSRs.
Right. I know the guy drops 5 bills on a GPSR. I'm like, that's somebody with no kids right there. No kids.
I kind of still regret having done that. But, Chris, Mark wanted to really razz Scott for this one, so why don't you take this next story from Business Insider?
I would love to. Now, this is actually, I find it interesting. It's a UK article about Illinois.
You're kidding.
So, a lawmaker in Illinois has proposed legislations that would help enforce the removal of virtual Pokestops in Pokemon Go, a popular game.
Oh, assholes. Sorry.
Do you know the Illinois State Representative Kelly Cassidy?
I do, yes.
Don't vote for her.
Okay.
It's a bill named Pidgey's Law, a nod to the common bird Pokemon in the game. If passed, the bill would fine Pokemon Go creator Niantic Labs for not removing virtual stops in the game at the request of a property owner. So apparently there's a Pokestop in Loyola Dunes. It's a state-protected park with endangered wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently because there's a Pokestop there, it's getting more foot traffic. And yeah, we've got a town here nearby that wants to ban Pokemon Go. In the marina area, they're saying, well, it's a public park and there are hundreds of people that are coming. Really? That's your problem? People are coming to your public parks?
There's a oh god, it's
Parks
amazing.
are only good when they're empty, Chris.
Yeah, there's a forest preserve right by Jesse's work, and it's a nest for Charizards.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
Yes.
Jesse just got a Charmeleon. What's the big one?
I
Is that
don't
the big
know.
one? She finally upgraded to the big one.
Nice.
And yeah,
Charlie.
yeah.
I don't know.
The dragon. The freaking
Charmanders are the little one. The Charizards are the big one, I thought.
Okay, what's the bigger
But
one?
I don't
There's
have
a big
them.
one. There's a
Yeah, I
bigger
think
one.
it's- Oh.
She's got like the bigger one. Like, you can evolve twice.
Charmanders are the tiny little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
supposed to be one at our zoo here, but I can't find it.
It's a Charmander nest.
Nest.
So
See, I really want to go out there and camp out just so that I can get some, because I have one Charmander. In the entire time I've been playing, I have one Charmander.
Yeah, Jesse's got. Well, I have a bunch. Jesse just got the biggest one, because she goes there. I mean, it's 5 minutes from her work. She drives there every day and walks around for a half an hour and gets 10. It's crazy. It's a nest. I mean, it's insane. And so my point being is that, like, you go there at lunch and there's literally 200 people there.
Mhm.
Literally 200. The fact where, like, the whole, not only is the parking lot full, but the side street next to it is all full. It's like it's insanity. Me and Jesse tried to go geocaching there last weekend, and nobody even paid attention to us. But, like, there's 200 people there, and we're geocaching. We're not, and so, like, we're like, kind of like near the trees, like in the trees a little bit, and people are looking at us, and we're like, they're like Charizard, and we're like, no, we're geocaching, no Charizard, because what happens is that people walk around like zombies with their heads in their phones, and then somebody screams Charizard, and everybody runs to where they are.
Wow.
It's really insanity. It really is.
Well, Limax says the big one is Chargar Rugar. I think that's how it's pronounced, but
I don't know.
it's a huh?
Jesse got him.
It's a Charmander that eats Rugula.
Right. Jesse got him, whatever he is. And what's nice is Toby's playing fall ball baseball, and where Toby plays fall baseball, there's Mangars? What the hell was the name of them?
Yeah, I think it's Mangar.
Is it Mangar? Yeah, there's a Mangar nest there. So when I was sitting in Toby's game, and I caught 5 in like 2 hours.
And the only nests I'm finding are Pidgey nests and drowsy nests. That's it.
Oh, Pidgeys. God bless the Pidgeys.
Hey, if it weren't for the Pidgeys and the Weedles, I would not be a level 26 going on 28.
Look at you, 26, you big nerd.
27.
Wow.
Sorry, 27. I'm only a few thousand XP from 27.
Wow.
From 28, rather. But the thing that you do is you save up like 30 of the Pidgeys and Rattata, whatever you have that you can evolve. Just save them up,
Mm-hmm.
and then put the lucky egg on.
Right, lucky egg and do it all.
Yeah,
Right.
and you'll get 30, 40 thousand XP if you do it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So getting back to Chris, so it's not shocking that Illinois would do that, because Illinois is freaking flat broke. So whatever we can do to cheat the system to get money, so our governor can exploit more money from us and get paid, they'll do. So that's not surprising it's coming from Illinois of all states. That doesn't shock me at all. Not at all.
Well, I think there is a legitimate beef there. However, this is a protected area that they're now driving traffic into.
That I get. Yeah.
You got to remember, it was there for ingress, so somebody went
Right.
there and put it there. So-
Exactly, and that's the thing is, I don't think necessarily Ingress or Niantic should be at fault for it. I do think that they need to have a better way to deal with land managers. My big problem with this law is, how do they know who the land manager is? They're going to have the same problem that we have as cachers, trying to identify who to talk with and who's legitimate. You hear the stories all the time of the wacko guy in the golf cart that comes screaming up and complains that you're on his land, even though it's parkland.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think it's just riddled with problems, but I think there is a valid concern there, and it's something that Niantic really is going to have to work on, and I expect that they didn't have any clue how big it was going to get that quick and how many troubles they were going to have with it.
Right.
Well, it's already going away.
I was going to say, I hear a lot of people are dropping it, so this may be null and void here in a week or more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's going to fall back to at least twice the level of Ingress. That's my personal thing, or my personal take on it. But it is, last numbers I saw were still 70 million active players, down from, I think it was like 180 at its peak.
That's half.
Wow.
Well, it's like a third.
Mm-hmm.
But still, 60 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that Candy Crush, I think it is, was the former leader in the mobile gaming space at 12 million.
Really?
So it's still 5 times as big as the biggest mobile game in history.
You know what's what'll kill it is winter. That's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Market.
No, you can sit in the cars.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen. You know, it's the first time we've had anything that's this big and popular in the location-based arena. So I'm really interested, and this is one of the things that I think is really going to be telling for geocaching too. Is what is the critical mass of a location-based game?
Mm-hmm. Oh. It's one of those. I think that it's starting to lose the kids. Like Toby, my 11-year-old doesn't play it anymore. He's done. And none of his friends play it anymore. They're done. They're the only way my kid plays it now is if he cheats. That's the only way he plays it now.
Nice.
He's him and his buddies have found the Japanese version where you could go. He can go to San Francisco and cheat. I'm like, dude, don't cheat. He's like, I don't want to play the game anymore. I'm like, well, good. I don't want to play the game anymore.
Handy.
So.
I think it really speaks to, as well, how much more a game needs to have to be engaging. And a lot of people were saying that they had about a month after it was released to get something else into the game because the game was just too simple to have any kind of stickiness. And that seems to be panning out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess well, especially you look at the iGens, Toby's generation, and it's just they have no focus. He's just on to the next thing. It had its time, but I knew once school started, that age group was gone.
Really, you didn't think school would propagate it even more?
No, it didn't. It killed it. I mean, the kids are too busy now. I mean, way too busy now. He can't go out during the week. He can only do it on the weekends, and the weekends he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, well, I could see the kids playing on their way to and from school, on the walks to and from. But like you said, they're not going to do that in winter. Mm-hmm. But Wet Coaster brought up the point that Ingress survives in winter in some of the really cold climates, and I would even add that it actually thrives because people like to do that rather than going out and doing, stuff outside, stay in your car and drive around to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can really do that as easily with Pokemon Go as you can with Ingress stuff. Oh, I'm not saying you can't do it. I just don't think it's as easy to do it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going away. I just think that it's going to lose a lot. It's going to get the hardcores. The hardcores will remain.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's going to. It's limited. It's going to be more limited base, but it's going to be the people who are the real fans.
Yeah, the millennials. Yeah, the sweet spot for that game.
The 30-something still living in their mother's basement?
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Wait a minute, I'm in the base. Never mind. Don't we have another subject to talk about?
Okay, let's move on to an email.
See, he doesn't live with his mom anymore. His mom lives with him now. That's the way it works. That's how he makes it better.
Actually, not anymore. No, but I kicked her out. I'm so cold-hearted.
All right, Daryl, continue. What were you saying?
I just got an email today from Nicholas, who's the developer of a new app called TB Scan. He calls it a new and revolutionary geocaching app for iOS. I wouldn't say revolutionary. New, yeah, that definitely it is.
Look at you ripping them apart early.
Oh, it's pretty revolutionary, Daryl.
I don't know about that, but TB Scan allows you to scan the tracking codes instead of having to write them down. Just point your camera at the tracking code, and TB Scan will recognize it automatically.
Oh, get out of town.
No, it works. I tried it.
No,
I haven't tried
downloading
it yet.
right now. Is it free or does it cost money?
It's free.
It's
There's
free with a in-app purchase to the Pro version for $5.
What's the Pro version give you?
I haven't had a chance to really do a whole lot of research, but one of the things that it does is allow you to save it to a camera roll, and I think it also lets you save the list and send it as an email.
Mm-hmm.
But
Where
were
does
some
it save it
options.
now?
Well, right now it just sends it. It does use the Live API, and I want to know how he got access to the Live API.
Well, maybe he got it a long time ago.
I don't think so, because he says this. I am a 15-year-old and high school student. My favorite hobby is programming. About a year ago, I started with TB Scan as my father, an active geocacher, said that it would be cool to have such an app. The project started with simple OCR tests and continued to get better. After a while, I realized that the existing OCR frameworks were not good enough. Therefore, I developed my own OCR engine, which is specialized in recognizing trackables. I even received a job offer because of this. Of course, he got a job offer. A 15-year-old kid got a job offer because he wrote an OCR app for iOS. Of course, I got a lot of more ideas to improve TB Scan further.
I can't find it in the. Is it an iPhone app?
Yeah.
TB Scan.
If you click the link that's going to be in the show notes, but it's in the show doc.
Chris is trying to explain to me how to spell TB Scan.
Well, all one word.
I tell him I'm doing TB-SCAN. Nothing. Look at nothing's coming up. Nothing.
That's
Zero.
TBSCA. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
That's what I'm searching for. App Store.
Scott, it's here. It's on my phone.
I don't understand. Maybe they pulled it.
Maybe. There are so many issues with the search on the Apple's app stores, both iOS and macOS, and for that matter, iTunes isn't good. So I wouldn't doubt that it's just something that's not easily found.
So I'm just amazed that a 15-year-old developed an OCR engine for iOS. I mean, I look at it and go, well, what have I done with my life? But, it works well. It works with high contrast. It doesn't work always with, an etched number and a coin.
And that's one of the things I was wondering. But it would be really handy for going around at West Bend.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But, for instance, I just hit this name badge, and it, pulled it at 10 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
And what does it do? Tell me what it does once you get it.
Does an OCR, so it gets you the code off of there and allows you to go to the web page and log it.
The web page for the app.
The web page for the trackable.
Another one of the things that I think it did in the Pro version was actually take photos from the camera roll and OCR and discover those too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, nice. Very cool. How old's the kid?
So, I can 15. So, I scanned it. It takes me to the web page and allows me to log it.
Very nice. Oh, well, he'll be a good programmer when he grows up.
So you're saying he's not right now?
At 15, no, he's not. He's a high school student.
So you're saying 15-year-olds cannot be good programmers?
That's not what I said. God, Lord. Thanks, Daryl.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, we're almost at an hour, so why don't we wrap this one up and take it to the patron show. Thanks, Scott, for joining us. You're going to be able to stick around for that patron show?
And talk more about nothing? Absolutely. I'd love to.
Good. Well, we actually have Galileo birds to talk about.
What? Okay.
Nothing like Pidgey birds. They're Galileo birds.
Okay. All right, cool.
So
Let's all
definitely-
curse Mark. Let's all curse Mark really quickly for.
He might be able to join us for the next show.
Has he? I know.
Well, I
Has he
think
ever,
now
like,
he's
made a
getting up
show?
to. Yeah, he's made a couple of shows.
Has he?
But I think now he's getting up and going to the gym before work.
He was. I don't know if he still is. What time is it out there? It's
It should be.
he
Oh
doesn't
no,
get
I was thinking it was 5 o'clock.
he
But no,
doesn't,
it's
he
like
doesn't get up
3
to like
o'clock.
11 Chicago time. Is usually when he shoots me a
11 p.m.
A PM. Yeah, 11 p.m.
so
Yeah,
that's
I'm usually
that's
laying in
5
bed.
a.m. I think. So it's like 3 a.m. right now.
Yeah, so he's still zonked. He'll never make. I can't believe he makes your show. Oh yeah, he was on your show once, and him and Sam, right? Was it him and Sam or just him?
Well, he and Sam were on the show once talking about the the profile show.
Oh yeah.
But that was a special. But he's been on a couple of episodes, a couple of the regular episodes here too.
Mm-hmm.
He usually, when he's done it, actually schedules a vacation day for the next day.
That would be the smart thing to do.
I was gonna say, which I totally understand.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
But again, before we jump into the patron show, we want to thank all of our patrons for their support. They just got hit with their donations, so thanks again. Thank you for giving us your cash. And if you appreciate the show and find any value in it, consider heading over to GeoGearHeads.com and clicking on that Patreon badge and throwing a couple of bucks a month at us, and that will get you all the bonus content and, of course, the satisfaction of supporting this show.
How wonderful. You know, we've got more shows coming up. Now, next week, we're talking with the Bear about GPSR maps. In 2 weeks, on the 15th, Scott Burks joins us back, unless he sleeps in, along with Land Monkey, on GPSRs versus smartphones. This is take 2. We had some technical issues the first time. This time, it's going to work.
This is just like the doomed show.
Yeah. September 22nd, we're doing 3D printed caches. That's our 4th show on that particular subject with Antaeus and C. Nelson. And then September 29th, we're doing puzzles. This is a 5th show on this one with Jennifer of Team AJK.
So check the Cachemaniacs website at cachemaniacs.com for more on the GeoGearHeads, including show notes for this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us feedback by emailing geogearheads@cachemaniacs.com or through social media. Your support helps keep the Cachemaniacs shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cachemaniacs shows. GeoGearHeads is produced by Christoph Nauer and Daryl Wattenberg. This show is copyright 2016 by Daryl Wattenberg. All rights reserved.
Cash with a Cachemania.